Question. If a virgin conceiving is immaculate conception, is a virgin catching a venereal disease immaculate infection?
What are you doing?
I'm about to film with Danny.
Danny's not here.
Okay, then I must be conversing with the dead.
Welcome back, Little Omens. I'm Danny.
And I'm Charlie,
And this is Sink Your Teeth In.
the show where we take a bite out of all things spooky so you can get your fill.
Today we're starting a new segment, What's Your Favorite Scary Movie? Where we go over all of the scary movies that we watched last month and crown our favorite.
But before we rate today's favorite Scream Queens, be sure to like today's video and subscribe to our channel. We've got all kinds of spooky goodness to sink your teeth into.
Last month, March, we saw 3 wonderful scary movies. We saw Imaginary,
3.
we saw Immaculate, and we saw Late Night with the Devil. So we're going to get into it. What's our first movie, Charlie?
We are starting off with Imaginary.
Imaginary.
Imaginary is about a woman who returns to her childhood home to discover that her imaginary friend is not only very real, but very upset that she abandoned him and intends to use her stepdaughter as a ploy for revenge. So what did you feel were the positives of Imaginary?
I loved Imaginary. First of all, can we get into it? That lady, gorgeous.
Gorgina.
The actress. I should give her name. DeWanda Wise. Gorgeous. Like, literally, the whole movie, I was just like, oh my god, she's so pretty. Like, I mean, this is a great movie, but, like, she's so pretty.
I feel that so much. What took me out of the movie with that, every time I saw her, I was like, she should be playing Storm.
Yeah.
Marvel, if you're watching,
Hit her out!
DeWanda
Oh my gosh.
Wise.
Yeah. I really loved the movie. I thought the idea was fresh. I thought the way that they executed it was really good.
Yeah. I think
I was very invested.
I think it was a very original concept.
Yeah.
And it's been out for a month. People have seen it or they haven't seen it. I don't understand the hate.
Hate?
Girl, there is hate.
What?
I'm
Y'all
telling
hate to
you.
see women win. That is what it is.
Really though, it's just everyone appreciated the concept, but I've heard a lot of buzz about how people feel like it fell short. And I get to the point where I just don't know where your expectations are in horror.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great story. It's not the perfect story. It's not the perfect movie.
Mm-hmm.
I still had a great time.
I would watch it again, and I feel like for horror, that's like a good movie for me.
Yeah,
that I would watch it
honestly.
again. What they're expressing is just we haven't gotten to the extra lore that can come with it.
Right.
There is a whole world we've now introduced, and this can be an ongoing thing. I feel like those people would feel better once we're 3 steps in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think people were just, especially nowadays, I feel like horror is coming to a place where people just want over the top like gore of things, or just like an M. Night Shyamalan twist of like, I see dead people.
Yeah.
I think we're all past that in horror. Let it be what it is. I think it was a great movie.
We have very similar tastes, but we also have very simple tastes. I think that the people, let's just call it what it is. These people who are like so into horror and they're like, fucking, it's so much. It's like people who are really into fandoms. It's like, you don't just enjoy things for what they are.
True.
And you put so much stock into like, it's the filmy people. They're fucking annoying. I'm so sorry.
But honestly,
shut the fuck up, okay? Just like let us sit and have our fun for like 5 minutes.
it really feels like, 1, y'all hate to see women win. 2, you guys can't accept a simple concept that's a little bit silly. It's about an imaginary friend. Are you expecting an Academy Award winning movie here? I thought it was very enjoyable. Plus, by the way, that whole entire movie, practical effects.
No, I didn't even know
CGI?
that. That's amazing.
Bare minimum.
That's what I think, though, is that we're so spoiled in that we have all these movies with all these crazy things, and it's like, it doesn't always need to be over the top, but it could, like, the simple things are also okay.
Honestly.
We can enjoy the simple things.
Honestly.
And you know what? Just because someone's not getting essayed in the fucking movie does not mean it's something not profound.
But I will say the negatives that stuck out to me in this movie is the pacing.
Yeah.
Revelations came a little too quick and fell a little short on how they were supposed to be.
No, when the bear wasn't even there, that was shocking.
That, yes.
Snatched my fucking wig, girl.
100%. But I'm talking about when Jessica is in the room and she finds her drawings on the wall
Oh, yeah.
of Chauncey, which is the name of the bear.
Chauncey Bear.
It was like she saw one drawing, she saw two drawings, she saw three drawings. She understood the whole room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Like, oh, now we need to go
late
into
in the movie.
I get that, but I just feel like if I saw like 2-3 drawings on the wall, it wouldn't, unless I'm dumb, it wouldn't click for me like that. To the point where I'm like, they think the little girl is missing.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, she's in the never ever, and we got to go into the basement and draw the chalk, and then and it's just like, how did you get all of that from 3 drawings?
Well, you know what my real qualm is for this movie? Okay, so the dad has the 2 daughters, and she's the stepmom, which, like, there's gonna be some tension, especially because the mom is sick, which is like, what's that about? But whatever. Which it shows similarity between her and the kids because her dad is sick, which we find out is because he went after and touched the bear. So if you're introducing this new family dynamic into a new space and there's already a little bit of tension, you're gonna fuck off for 6 months for a fucking...
Yeah.
No, you're not. That's not real life. That's not real life.
Yeah.
Hated that. Like, I know it's like a plot driver. Hate shit that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. But I think the highlights of the movie really, it's an enjoyable story.
Yeah.
That twist of the bear's never been there.
So good.
Like, y'all, regardless of how you feel about that movie, you can't be like, that revelation was not like, oh.
Yeah, literally. The story is great. The
Yes.
writing is like phenomenal. The idea, the visuals, it was so beautiful and so well written. And like, we have a whole new universe.
So, Danny, Imaginary, must watch.
Yes, if you have tastes similar to myself or Charlie, must watch.
All right. What's up next?
We have Immaculate. Sister Cecilia, an American nun, joins a remote convent in Italy. She soon finds that she is pregnant despite not laying with a man. It seems as though it is a miracle, but Sister Cecilia suspects something sinister is afoot. So, Charlie, did you enjoy the movie?
I sure did.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not... Yeah, no, we'll keep it a yeah.
What are your thoughts on the story?
The story is really good. It has very complex themes. It has the religious trauma. It has, consent over your bodily autonomy. It shows the disparity of how women are viewed in this men-centric world, how we're just like the caregivers, the life bringers, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it really focuses on the point of the fears a woman has that she is just meant to bring life into this world.
Mm-hmm. I think it showcases how people perverse their view of God to use their own sinister ideas, to like bring that to life.
Yeah.
They found this object, and I mean, there was even a girl who was willing to bear that baby, but instead you put a baby in someone who had no idea and you claimed it was a miracle. No, you're just a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, it's always trippy to me how people will hide behind the word of God for their own benefit.
It's very that. So it's just all the religious trauma, men thinking they can do what they want with women's bodies.
Tell your sister I'm gonna put a baby in her. Put one in me!
Making people mothers when they don't want to be mothers.
I will say the part that took for me that really kept me encapsulated was the imagery of it.
Yes, absolutely.
When they have her dressed up like the Virgin Mary, that's like a 5-second scene.
Yeah, but it was so beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
Just not only that, but like we're in the Italian countryside.
No, all of the imagery, gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah. But I feel like you find that a lot with Catholicism is like everything's so beautiful, like, but there are so many secrets.
Your morals are wrong. Your aesthetics are popping off.
No, literally.
So what did you find as far as unique twists for how this puts itself in horror?
So you have the religious, almost paranormal sense, because you're like, how do you just have a baby, you know? You know immediately that like something is weird.
Yeah.
Like there's just, she passes out and then she's suddenly having a baby and it's like, things just don't feel right.
It does give the vibe of Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, very
where it's like, you know, something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, I feel like when you do decide to have a child, that is going to be one of the happiest times, is that you're growing a life. But when you feel like everyone is being
They're
so
like
helpful
fawning over
Yeah.
her. They're like, you know, the guy's like, did you have sex? Like,
Yeah.
it's so very. But the thing that I thought was super interesting is you have all these themes, but at the same time, it's kind of sci-fi with
True.
this guy with the basement, with all the fetuses and the like old
jar
machinery, you know,
Yeah.
because I think it is like in the 60s, but
Yeah.
it gives kind of a sci-fi vibe in that way because it's like religion meeting
You were
science.
saying Frankenstein,
It
how
does
it's
kind
playing
of-
with life.
Yeah, it does kind of give a Frankenstein vibe because you're, you know, giving life based on a drop of. I don't really know science of creating life based on a drop of blood. but- I just thought it was very interesting. It's like so pseudoscience-y and weird and like backdoor, but it's
Yeah.
also like the church. So it's just super. I think the dichotomy is really interesting.
I will tell you what I would consider a twist.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, turn away if you don't want to hear. Earmuffs. She kills the baby
Yeah.
at the end.
I was wondering like what she would do.
I am a little mad that I didn't see that baby. Because I'm expecting a demon baby. I'm expecting a little red thing with horns. Aside of the fact,
I think it's better like that they didn't because it's purely up to your imagination.
it does let you create your own monster.
Mm-hmm.
But I do appreciate that she killed it. I do appreciate it that she destroyed it.
Sure.
There's a lot in horror where a mother's love cannot find their child ugly, and it's like they feel like they have a duty to motherhood. I birthed this, I need to like take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not her, not Cecilia. She said, "Where's the biggest rock? And let me hit that soft spot."
I did not enjoy that part. I know I did not enjoy that. I am fully pro-choice, but not killing babies with stillborn. I understand the point. It was to be shocking and to be like that macabre. It's not my favorite. I did not care for it.
Fun fact about that scene. One take.
Slay.
Right?
Can we talk about Sydney Sweeney as a horror actress? I went in. She's not my favorite actress. I don't know why. There's just something about her. I think it's because the Trump birthday party for her mom gives me a little sus vibes. I went in like, and I feel like she did a really good job. Like,
Yeah.
still not my most favorite ever, but I think that's just because we're so used to like. I went in with my idea of her already, so
Sure.
like it was hard for me to not see her in that. But I feel like she did a really good job. I was like, kudos, girl, do you?
Yeah, I will say like I do feel like I'm watching an actress. I don't feel like I'm seeing a nun.
Yeah. So Charlie,
Yes.
is Immaculate a must-watch for you?
I'm gonna say yes.
Really?
For me, it's a yes.
I
about you?
think if you enjoy religious horror and kind of movies that are a little out there, yes.
I do think you have to be a fan of gore,
Oh my god.
body
yeah.
horror.
Yeah. So Charlie, What is our final movie?
Late Night with the Devil. A live television broadcast on Halloween night in 1977 goes horribly wrong when a special guest wreaks terror on a live audience.
So I loved this movie. I thought it was so original and so well done.
True.
The writing was good. I loved that the entire time we're immersed in this 70s, like,
Yeah.
TV. Like, the frame of the shot is
Yeah.
like a thinner shot. It's
Yeah.
not like a wide.
It does give like film. I feel
Yeah.
like although we're watching it, it's like how a TV set would have been in like the
Yes.
60s or 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the immersion of it.
It goes from color when you're on air to the black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like I feel like when you're on air, I feel like you're an audience member, and I feel like when you're at commercial, you're like a production hand.
Yeah.
It really immerses you in the entire story.
I loved it. It felt so fresh and like, I mean, to my knowledge, I've never seen anything like that. But even when the first time that I even heard about this movie, I got an ad, and I thought the way that it came across my feed was like found footage.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like a found footage movie of sorts. But it was like, oh no, I found this movie
Yeah.
in like a basement somewhere.
It gave documentary of like, we found all this original film and we're making a
Yes.
documentary about it.
Yes. And literally it was like, I think it was a TikTok. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's that actor that is like in all these movies. But the more I watched the trailer for it, I was like, maybe it's not him. Maybe it really is something that was like an old TV show.
Yeah.
I like, even though I like literally knew this actor, it was so well marketed. I was like, I love it. It
100%.
had me hooked immediately. I wanted to see this movie for months.
Hooked.
So I know you had a major qualm with this movie.
The ending took me out, which is very disappointing. The effects felt a little bit too silly.
Have you ever seen Scooby-Doo 2?
Yes.
You know the electric monster?
Girl,
The electricity monster?
you know what it gave me though? The way that like CGI portrays Miss Marvel,
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, the demon head splits open and it's Miss Marvel. Like the head is Miss Marvel
It's
using her
kinda
powers.
funky, yeah.
It's just what upsets me about this, because we all know I love the devil. It wasn't the devil.
No, it was
It was
Abraxas or something.
sure, I don't remember, but that sounds about right. But don't call it the devil if it's not the devil. I get the marketing term of it. More so, let it be serious. Let it be. They were approaching it from a psychological aspect of how, and trauma and things of that nature. It could have been something that was it would have been one of my all-time favorites. But the ending was just a little bit too silly. The effects kind of made it just like a little too much like, there were a lot of things that weren't explained.
Well, so there are a few things that needed to be fleshed out a little more. First of all, we get one scene with this demon, other
Yeah.
than like when they freak out. So it's like, it's really not, it felt like a lot of buildup.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing with the wife is kind of weird. But then you have like him being in the woods. Like,
Yeah.
he never even addresses that really.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm like, I get like you some way somehow sold your soul, but we don't really get an explanation of it. And then like you've lost out on your wife, but yet she's still with you, haunting you. We don't know because that's not explained.
My take on that was the demon or whoever was using her as like a
Like a pawn.
Yeah, like you sold your soul and I paid the price. Like fuck you, you know.
It's just a lot of things could have at least an explanation. We don't need to have like a full story about it, but I would appreciate an explanation.
Yeah, I did feel like this is it. Like, because the whole thing, at one point he hypnotizes them. So disgusting with the worms.
Yeah.
But I was expecting once, like, the whole thing with the electricity and everyone's dying and stuff, like, I expected that to be fake, too, because I was like, there's no way this is already it.
Yeah.
So, I agree in that sense. But, like, the concept and even the execution to a point, very good. I think if they kind of left it open almost for a sequel.
Yes.
I don't know what that would even look like, but that's kind of the vibe. It gave like, oh, this is a setup for another movie.
Right. I will say, and even to move into that sequel, instead of taking it as this little girl is possessed and then she's unleashing it, because we were dealing with hypnosis and everything, I would have loved to see the host go under hypnosis. And ultimately, what he ended up doing with killing everyone, he kills everyone in the audience. And it's all on camera. But now, the demon has moved into him. And that's the sequel. It's like Rage from that point.
I thought, you know, the scene where he like stabs the girl, I thought it was going to be like, oh, he was being hypnotized or whatever. Like, and they were all just sitting there like normal and he fucking just stabbed her. But that did not happen. Can we talk about the skeleton guy?
Yeah.
What in the fuck is that?
That's what I'm talking about with a lot of things were unexplained.
Yeah.
You put a lot of focus on this guy who's clearly creepy.
Yeah.
And nothing. He's even in this like flashback memory. But there's nothing. It's not a bad movie. It's just the ending. It felt like you had got to a point and they were just kind of like, we don't really know how to end this.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, what if we do this? What if we do that? And it just got a little too silly, a little too much. It's just so silly.
Yeah.
That's the only downfall to it. But other than that, did you like it?
I really, really, really enjoyed it. How do you think that one compares to the other two as far as themes?
I would say, so they all stand on their own. I feel like their shared characteristic is psychological horror. It all just touches on different bases of it.
Yeah.
Like, Imaginary touches on our fear of our innocence being exploited.
Yeah, it's like a family horror, like that sort of your childhood.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Immaculate is it's religious trauma.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then Late Night with
And
the
the
Devil.
patriarchy.
And the fucking patriarchy. And then Late Night with the Devil really just focuses on grief and what you will believe is true.
True, a lot of grief and like exploitation.
Yes.
So, Charlie, what's your favorite scary movie?
Imaginary.
So, how would you rank them in terms of like which one is the one that stood out to you the most, that you would go watch again, that was your favorite?
I would say it goes Imaginary, Late Night with the Devil, Immaculate.
Same exact thing for me. Absolutely. Yeah. I was over the moon for Imaginary. I still, to this day, like, I will go watch that again at some point. It was so good.
Yeah, it doesn't deserve the hate. Don't listen to the haters.
I literally have not heard anything, but I also don't give a fuck what anyone else says. I like what I like. I really enjoyed the Late Night with the Devil. And Immaculate was really good, too. That's not really my vibe. Men hurting women is a day-to-day, so I don't need to watch that.
For me, Immaculate is just very, like, it's the religious of it. I'm tapped out when it comes to that.
Exactly that.
So.
But it was really gorgeous and really well written. I just thought that the ideas, I mean, because like the religious trauma, it was a fresh idea, but it's also like so deeply rooted in like religion. So it's themes that we've hit before. These other two movies are very fresh ideas.
Yes.
Like, I'm trying to think of like if there's another imaginary friend. Like, we use this in horror where the littlest kid has a friend, and it's like Amityville Horror. Amityville Horror with a little girl, and The Conjuring.
It's like the spirit is.
Yeah. So it's like something we've kind of touched on, but it's so different than that. It's not like the same as with Immaculate, where there's this deep-rooted history.
Yeah.
And then the Late Night with the Devil, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before.
Not in that aspect of where it's the reasons behind it and just the whole setup of everything.
Yeah. And the way that they shot it too, because it is found footage, but it's also very highly produced because
Yeah.
it is a show.
Yeah.
So it's a found footage, but in such a different way.
Right.
So I appreciated that too.
100%.
So, Little Omens, if you only have money to see one of these movies, our recommendation, Imaginary. So, the movies that we are very much looking forward to coming out soon, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see The First Omen.
Yes.
Oh my god, I think that is going to be the scary movie of the year.
Maybe.
I think it's going to be so good. I cannot wait.
I gotta see it first.
Have you not seen the original Omens?
I have.
Oh.
But I'm just, it's to a point where I'm just like,
Yeah. Back in the day, they were not scary. But I think that everything I've seen from it looks very scary.
yeah, I'm excited to see it. I think it will, I just don't feel like it's gonna be groundbreaking.
I think it's just going to be really scary. And I really want to be scared.
Okay.
Like, The Late Night with the Devil gave me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies because I
Yeah.
fucking hate hypnotism. I hate that. I don't look at the screen. I'm also so excited. I don't think it comes out till July, but A Quiet Place Day 1.
Yes.
So excited. Are you kidding me?
Danny doesn't want to see it, but I want to see Abigail.
I don't care. I will watch it, but it's stupid. Not stupid. It's campy, and I'm not really a campy horror. I'll put it on in the background.
This is the reason for the hiatus.
So, Little Omens, we would like to know if you have seen any of these movies, and if you have, share your favorite. Tell us what you liked, didn't like about them. Let us know in the comments below.
But before you go, be sure to like today's video and subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to follow us on all our socials, you can find us linked here. We have all sorts of spooky goodness coming up each week.
And remember, Little Omens,
Stay spooky. And I feel bad that you're gonna be like, cut.
My life. It's
I
okay.
know. I'm sorry. I'm a piece of shit.
You suck.
Is this your bra?
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Cover yourself up, whore.
This is a child's show.
It
It's
is not. Stop.
I want the end of time so we can start over.
I love that.
I need Mother Nature to just reclaim the earth.
Sure. Cecilia.
No way.
Yeah.
You're fucking lying. You're fucking lying. I've said Cecile so much already.
Who cares? It's not that deep. How fucking dare you? Apologize right now.
It's not that deep.
Apologize to Sid right now. You're fucking creepy. Put it. Stop. Let's keep going. Stop. Get your hands off of her.
Stop.
Stop touching her.
Listen, I'm making sure she's straight.
She's not straight. Did ChatGPT write that?
No, girl, I did.
I'm obsessed.
I'm pregnant.